Hey guys, it's Lauren from Granite State Yarns. I'm back. This is the first podcast that I've recorded in a while. I don't remember the last time I recorded one, but I felt inspired today, so here I am. It's July 13th of 2026, and I am the dyer behind Granite State Yarns. So I have a little bit of yarn dyeing to talk to y'all about, as well as some knitting that I've been working on, some spinning. I have a ton of spinning, so if you're into spinning, this would be a cool episode to watch. And I've also done some pottery, believe it or not. Lifelong dream, finally realizing. I've got some watercolors. I've got some weaving. That's right, I got weaving here too. Like I've got a pile of stuff. Like you can see some of my bags here, and there's stuff all around me. So this is going to be a pretty I don't know, unique, very full episode of all sorts of stuff. Hopefully I can inspire you to work on some new things and try some new projects as well. A little bit about me, if you are new to the channel. I'm Lauren. I live in New Hampshire with my husband and our kids. I am the yarn dyer behind Granite State Yarns, and I am obsessed with crafts. So I do all sorts of stuff. I dabble in a lot of things and get obsessed about a lot of things, but consistently, ooh, there's an ant down there. Consistently, I am a fiber fanatic. I love to knit and crochet. I love to spin yarn. I love to play around with color. And yeah, that is definitely my passion. And I also like playing around with new things and seeing what is going to inspire me all over the place. So I've got a kid riding a bike down the backyard. Are we gonna? No, I don't think we can see her in the video. But if you hear weird sounds, it's probably just my kids. It's part of the reason why I don't podcast nearly as often as I would like to. It is like impossible to find a quiet moment. It's early enough in the day that my toddler is still sleeping. So I thought this would be a good chance to record. So hopefully I can get this done before she wakes up, because yes, I have toddlers, well, a toddler right now, that sleeps in the morning. We are not a morning people in my house. And my 2-year-old very often will sleep in a little bit. So far so good. Anyway, I should really get to like talking about the actual stuff here. Before I do that though, you can find me on Instagram at Granite State Yarns. My website is www.granitestateyarns.com. Although I guess these days you don't have to say www before a website, but I am a millennial and I have not yet gotten rid of that habit. So yeah, granitestateyarns.com if you want to check out my stuff. I have mostly sock yarn. Actually, pretty right now, I think, yeah, all of the yarn I have is sock yarn, including some spinning fiber. I hope to have some 100% wool fiber up in the shop soon. I'm kind of testing out a few different bases of that, and I would like to maybe try expanding into a few different yarn bases, but for right now I do have fingering weight sock and DK weight sock. I have a bunch of different colorways, and I also do monthly yarn subscriptions that are just plain yarn every month with different themes. So if you are interested in those, I think that they're great. They're just yarn, so it is like, you know, you're not spending money on other extras that you may or may not need. So it is relatively budget friendly, and yeah, I've been doing that for a couple of years now, and I love doing the clubs. Like, they're just fun. I get to play around with color every month, and I have a bunch of subscribers. Thank you very much to all my subscribers. And yeah, I'm actually gearing up for doing the next round of those. So if you want to sign up for those, Sign up before the 15th of the month. That's my cutoff date. And then I go and dye whatever's been ordered, and those ship out before the end of the month. So, okay, I think that is all of the business stuff for now. Let's start. I have all my spinning stuff right here. So I think we can talk about that. Let's see, where am I gonna start? How about, I'm gonna start with my homemade spindles. So I have a couple of them right here. I'm gonna show you this one first. So I started spinning yarn a few years ago, and like most people, I started out with a drop spindle because these are relatively, oh, you can see one of my kids down there. Drop spindles are relatively inexpensive. They are a really great way to start off with yarn spinning, especially because spinning wheels can be a little bit pricey. So, you know, if you just kind of want to test things out, this is a great place to start. So you can buy drop spindles, you know, you can find them on Amazon. There's some really cool, like handmade ones, like hand carved, but I found this like DIY recipe. I don't even remember where I was, and it just like popped up on one of my feeds. Maybe it was on Instagram or something. And I tried making one. So this is, you know, whatever. It's kind of cool. So this whirl here is made out of oven bake clay. So all I did was just like make a circle. You see, it's not perfect, and that's okay. I like blended a few colors together to try to make it look cool, and it's all right. I don't know. I think I didn't have like a whole ton of colors, and whatever. It's unique. It's kind of cool. So yeah, you make like this pancake and poke a hole in it, right? With I used a chopstick, which is awesome. Again, this is like really simple stuff if you want to try making it. Poke a hole in the center. When the clay bakes, it does shrink a little bit, so you want to make sure that the hole is just a little bit bigger than your chopstick, but not too much bigger. What I did was I took the chopstick and I just kind of wiggled it just a little bit so it would just get a little bit bigger, and then when it baked, like I said, it shrinks down. The clay, like this one that I have, is still a little bit flexible, so I think that kind of makes it a little bit more forgiving. So if it ends up being like a tad too small, it's not like you're not going to be able to get the chopstick on there. I don't know. I guessed, like I said, I just wiggled it a little bit so it'd be a little bit bigger, and I had no problem getting this onto the chopstick. So I don't know, maybe don't stress out about it too much. Plus it's just clay. You could always just, you know, it's not very expensive. Like really, I think I got like enough clay to make probably 10 of these, I think. And I got it on Amazon. I think I spent like less than $10. So like, it's not a big deal. I put a little bit of design on the top here, whatever, just fun. And then you want to make a little notch, if you can kind of see that. That's what you need, that notch for when you're using the spindle to spin. Then I got this little eye hook that I just screwed into the top of the chopstick. I used my husband's like electric screwdriver thing. I don't know. I am not a tool person at all. But I used his little screwdriver thing to like drill a pilot hole, and then screwed this in, because the chopstick is like, you couldn't just take this hook thing and just like muscle it in there. Like, at least I don't know, I couldn't. So that is that simple. And this works really well. I will say the clay is kind of heavy, so if you are trying to spin really thin yarn, it might be a little bit tricky, but it works. Like I said, the circle isn't perfect, but when you're spinning it, like it works. I don't know, it stays balanced enough. It doesn't really wiggle around or anything. I'm not going to give you a tutorial on how a drop spindle works because I'm really not that great at it. I need to practice more, and there's plenty of videos online, and there's not enough time for that right now, but I will give you this quick little like how to. So anyway, started with this, and my husband's watching me, intrigued by what I'm doing. And he has gotten into 3D printing in the last few years, like really big 3D printing in the last few months. He got a 3D printer for his job and has been using it for some products with his company. And he's like, oh, I could totally 3D print you something. So he made me a 3D printed whirl. So it's very circular, very nice. And same thing, I used the chopstick with the little eye hook, and this is significantly lighter because of it's just plastic, or I don't know, PLA. I think that's what it is. I shouldn't say that for sure because I'm not absolutely positive. I get confused about it's one of the filament 3D printers, not an, oh gosh, is it like epoxy or something? No, not epoxy. It's UV resin. That's right. That's a different kind. He doesn't use the UV resin one. He uses the filament. Like I said, I think it's PLA. Anyway, same thing. This one's got a little notch in it. Just a simple circle. And yeah, this works really, really well. So I do have a few of these in the shop. We had used like some leftover gold colored filament, and I also got some purple because of course I got purple. It's my favorite color. And so there's a couple of those in the shop, and they're not very expensive. I think $10 is what I listed them for, because this is not like this is not an expensive product to make, but it's a great opportunity to learn how to spin yarn with a drop spindle, and you'll fall in love with it, and then you'll want to go ahead and get a nice, like really cool spinning wheel, which that's awesome. Or maybe you love the spindle. Like one of my daughters really loves drop spindle. She does enjoy the spinning wheel too, but my oldest daughter really, she still happily drop spindles. I did teach another couple of my girls how to use this year or this summer, and they picked up on it really quick. I don't think either of them really like got super into it, but you know, they're enjoying it. In fact, I think this yarn here, yeah, this was one of my daughters who just learned, so she's doing great. So yeah, if you want to check out these in the shop, you can do that, or you can make your own. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So with spinning, one moment. Yes, you can go get Sophie. My toddler is awake. So I have a kid helping me out there. So I do most of my spinning with my Ladybug spinning wheel, which I love and adore. And this is the current project that I am working on for spinning. I have a whole spindle. Is this a spindle? Oh my gosh, I've like bobbin. This is a bobbin. Oh my gosh. I just filled up this bobbin last night. This is like half a pound. Yeah, half a pound of fiber. So I have another half a pound right here. So yeah, this turned into this. So I'm gonna make fill up another bobbin with this and ply it together, and I'll have a 2-ply yarn. I dyed this. It is 100% merino wool, and it spins like a dream. I love it. I wanted to test out this merino wool base that I had before I put it in the shop, because I was really nervous about dyeing it. I had started dyeing roving a couple years back, and I've been using superwash wool with nylon blend because I love sock yarn. And because it's superwash, it's a little more forgiving. It won't felt. If you don't know anything about yarn dyeing, you dye with hot water, almost boiling, sometimes even boiling, or at least simmering the way I do it, just to make sure that my dyes are like in that wool. And wool will felt in hot water and like being agitated. And while the superwash wool is very forgiving and I never had any problems with felting, to move into 100% wool, I was nervous that I was gonna felt it. I had been spinning with the Malabrigo, Nube, I think that's how you pronounce it. The Malabrigo Nube fiber, which is 100% wool. And those tend to have like lots of spots they're not quite felted, but they're like kind of like beginning to felt a little bit. And it makes for like not an awesome spinning experience. And I've read online a lot of people don't like that stuff because it is just kind of, it's not as smooth as you would really want it to be. And so when I'm learning how to dye 100% wool, I wanted to make sure that I was not going to be making that sort of product. I really want something light and fluffy and easy to spin. And thankfully the method that I'm using, which is just like I'm just really long time submerging that fiber in water and doing my best to not get it too hot to where it is boiling, but hot enough that it is you want it to be like at about like 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm really trying to keep it, you know, not much north of 180. So I just let it kind of hang out for a while at that really low simmer, and then eventually just shut the heat off and just let it soak for like a good half hour, 45 minutes, an hour. Just keep checking it, make sure that the dye is exhausted from the water, and it's working. It just takes a long time, but that's okay. I would rather spend a lot of time. It's not like I'm sitting there watching it. It's taking up space in my kitchen as I'm dyeing for a while, but it worked. And I've done 3 batches of this wool. I have merino and Corriedale, and all those batches have come out great. I haven't had an issue with them. So I think I've figured out a good process for it. So I'm excited about that, and definitely feeling confident that I can dye and put it in the shop and feel really good about the product. So as you can see, I've spun quite a bit of it, so I think I've got like a pretty good handle on what we're doing here. So keep an eye out for that if you're looking for 100% wool fiber. It's a blast. I just really love spinning this. So okay, I gotta like get my thoughts together here. So that's the dyeing process. My first project with that, which is probably what I should have started, but I'm showing you this because that's what I grabbed first, was fiber that I had dyed. Again, it was that same 100% merino, and I dyed it, spun it, plied it, and I knit it into a cardigan. So this I finished last week. And I will show it to you because I'm so proud of it. Check it out. I mean, look at this. It feels so good to show this off because, like, I don't know, when you make things, when you knit socks and sweaters and hats, whatever, it feels so good to like show, look at what I made with my own hands. And then the more of the process that you do, the more exciting it is. Like to say that I dyed this fiber and then I spun it into yarn and then I made a cardigan with it. It feels so good. So here, I'll put it on. Look at this. I am so excited about this sweater. I've got these really cute buttons on there. Yeah, like it came out really, really nice. I had, like, I don't have the leftover yarn. This is about a pound of yarn. It's a little bit less actually, because when I was double plying, like I showed you before, I had 2 bobbins like this, and I had a little bit of single left on one bobbin, and I could have, split up what was left and continued with that 2-ply, but I was feeling a little lazy. And so what I did was, with what was left, I just chain plied it, which I won't get into it, but it's just it's a really cool way to make a 3-ply yarn with just one single. It's kind of like crochet. It's really cool. So where I had started out with a full pound of fiber, I ended up only having, I think, like 15 ounces, or 15, is it ounces? Yeah, 15 ounces, because there was about 1 ounce that I chain plied. And I used like almost every bit of it in this cardigan. When I did the sleeves, I split it up to make sure that I was not going to run out, and just knit as far as I could. And I got to my elbows, which is perfectly fine. I actually really love this length for a cardigan. So yeah, I just have like these 2 little teeny tiny balls left of the 2-ply, and like I said, about an ounce of chain ply, which I think I'll probably use in either a scrappy project, or probably more likely I will put it in some weaving, make a tapestry. I've been getting into that. We'll talk about weaving in a little bit. So I based this pattern on the Lifesavers pattern, which I knit in plain sock yarn a couple years ago, and this came out to like that. So that pattern is for fingering weight yarn, and this yarn that I spun probably came out to like DK, maybe Sport. I didn't really check exactly, but definitely a different weight, and so I had to kind of adjust things. And so I based my knitting on the Lifesavers pattern and kind of adjusted things a little bit. So I am not going to say that this is like a pattern that I completely made myself, but it's taking knowledge that I learned from knitting one cardigan pattern and adjusting it as I wanted to make this cardigan. And it felt, again, like I'm saying, when you make things, it feels amazing. But then as you start like doing different parts of it, adjusting a pattern or making your own yarn to knit with, like it feels so incredible. And that's not to discount people who are using just, other yarn that you're buying in the store or whatever. Like, that's awesome. It is. But I'm really enjoying kind of playing around with all aspects of it. It's just really cool. I feel like a super woman to be able to do all this. And like, I don't know. I love yarn. I love every bit of it. It's just, I don't know. It gets me so excited. So I'm really excited and proud of this project, and I think it came out so good. And I was so worried too when I dyed the fiber for this. I'm still learning how to dye wool. This was the first time that I dyed 100% wool. And the color that I had in mind didn't really translate completely into the fiber, what I ended up dyeing the fiber. It was like I had put a couple of red spots in it, and color theory, I don't need to get into all sorts of stuff with it, but I wasn't sure that it was going to blend together well, and I did it anyway. And in the end, I absolutely love the way these colors came together. I really thought that I had too much green and too much red, and that it was going to kind of muddy it up and get kind of, but it worked out. It worked out perfectly fine. Like I love it. I love purple. Here I am with yet another purple sweater, but at least it's like all different kinds of colors of purple. Whatever. It's been a process, and just, I don't know, I'm having a blast. Having a blast with this. So I'm gonna take this off now because it is like 80 degrees out right now, and I don't really want to wear a wool cardigan in 80-degree weather. But I had to show it to you. So this is my baby. I'm so proud. So yeah, that's my cardigan. That's my Tour de Fleece 2026 spin started. I also, okay, so I told you about the Corriedale that I also bought to learn how to dye fiber. And the Corriedale that I got it's gray, like the sheep itself is gray. And so I thought, hey, it'd be really cool to kind of play around with fiber that is not, you know, that like off-white creamy color that most of the base wool that you see is, you know, it's creamy, because that's, you know, white sheep and that's just the most popular for dyeing. But I got this gray one to play around with, because how cool is that to have gray wool? It's gonna make a difference in how the dye takes, but would be a fun experiment. So I dyed up another pound of that in a like a teal color, and this is part of that. But I also took about 4 ounces of that dyed Corriedale, and because I bought a drum carder a few months ago, and I ended up blending that dyed Corriedale, that dyed gray Corriedale, with some, you can see some of it here, some silk. I bought this teal silk at the New Hampshire Wool and Fiber Festival. I hope I'm saying that correctly, in May. And it's mulberry silk, actually, which I should look into that, like what mulberry silk is versus silk. Like, is it still silk, like from, you know, silkworms, or is it something else? I'm kind of curious now. Anyway, so I had some silk blended in here, and then if you look, yeah, you can see it. There's some sparkles. I got, again, at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, I got some Angelina fiber, which is like this really sparkly stuff. And it doesn't show up on camera very well, but if you look closely, you can see these little sparkly pops. It's quite a bit more sparkly in real life. Oh, and there's also some gray fiber that I bought at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool. It was dyed gray though. It wasn't like, again, the Corriedale was gray to begin with, and that's harder to see. But if you look like in this kind of area, there's a few spots that are a bit grayer than others, and that's that. I think it was Romney. Oh, I have it right here. No, it was Blue-Faced Leicester. That's right. So this fiber was 87 grams of Corriedale, 11 grams of BFL, 7 grams of mulberry silk, and 2 grams of Angelina. And I used a Diz to pull it off of the drum carder, and so that's how I got this like roving. And that was I mean, I've been playing around with the drum carder. This was the first time that instead of pulling it off as a bat, so instead of like that rectangular shape and then ripping it into strips, I used a Diz, which is like a little, it's like, I have a picture, I'll put it up on the screen. The Diz that I used for this was just a hole that was made in this wooden tool that I have for spinning, and you like pull the fiber off of the drum through that hole, and that's how you get these nice like strips of fiber, which is it's a lot easier to, you know, spin. At least I prefer to spin off of this roving kind of a situation. And I have like a bunch of different balls of it here because this is the first time I had ever done that. And eventually, as I'm pulling it off, it would like kind of pull apart, right? So instead of having like one big beautiful ball of roving, I have a bunch of them. But that's okay, because I'm learning. But it was so cool to like blend these things together. Like I made my own yarn blend or wool blend. What? Look at the sparkle on this one. Oh, I wish it would show up on camera better. There's like these beautiful like spots of just this. Angelina is so pretty. It like almost glows. It's silver, but it's got like this like purple iridescence to it. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm like distracted looking at this. And then those like pops of that silk. Oh, it's so cool. So I would love to put some of this in the shop. I'm going to spin this first and I might make like another batch of this. So if you're interested in this, let me know like in the comments and I'll make some more. But I do want to check it first. And I'm just being selfish. I want to play with it first. Because yeah, this would be a really fun option to pop in the shop because it's so unique and different. And I'm just super excited. Oh gosh, I'm loving spinning so much. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Again, I think maybe I'll make like an art yarn, do something kind of like chunky with it, and again, we can weave it into a tapestry, which I guess we could talk about that now. I did buy at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool. I got a loom. It's an Ashford loom. I forget the details, like the actual name of it and everything, but I got like a nice stand for it. It's something that I've wanted to play around with for a long time, and you know, just another way to play with yarn and color, and it's awesome. So I've done a few things, but I'll show you this one. This is hand spun yarn. This is sparkly. Oh, I got it earlier this year, or maybe at the end of last year. Wound Up Fiber Arts, that's what it was. And I think it was a sparkle sock fiber. And I did this spin. And yes, that's right. Okay, so the way I did this one, because you'll see that there's stripes going down. I used Knit Picks palette. There's some yellow and brown, two different browns. Like this is a darker brown and then a lighter brown over here for the warp. Yeah, that was the warp. And then for the weft, I used the sparkly, again, it's hard to see the sparkles, but the sparkly hand dye that I had gotten from Wound Up Fiber Arts that I had spun into yarn. So yeah, you can see the Knit Picks palette here and the little tassels from the weft. And this is like a really just cute runner. It's long. I would say it's close to 5 feet. I mean, it must be, because it's about my arm span. I think I have it written down actually on this tag. No, I didn't write it down. But anyway, so when you look at this project, this is just a runner. Like, again, the hours to put into this, to have spun, you know, about 100 grams of fiber, that takes hours. And then to weave it takes another few hours. It is such, but what a, like, look at, I made fabric. Like, what? So just, again, another like fun way to play with wool and yarn, and I'm enjoying it. If you can hear my Sophie, she's yelling in there. Okay. Oh, she's yelling at Stella. I thought she was yelling Mama, but she's yelling Stella, which is her older sister. It's okay. I should like get going with this video so I can help them with Soph Dove there. So right now in the shop for fiber. Like I said, I've got the drop spindles, but I also have some sock fiber. I have a bunch of different colors. I grabbed a couple of them. This one's backpacking. It's got some nice like pops of neon pink, neon green. Like, oh gosh, look at this like section here. I love seeing like all these different colors like playing together. Backpacking. I love a neon. And this one is up to something. We've got some greens and teals and some pops of orange. Also really pretty. I've been eyeing this one. I think I might be grabbing one of these. I think I've got like, I don't know, 4 or 5 in the shop right now, and I might steal one. We'll see. But if you want it, you can do that too. Please grab one. So there's a few other colors in the shop too. So if you want to try spinning, I highly recommend it. It's the best. And that I have knit socks with them, which is like so exciting. So like that was my gateway really into like rekindling my love of spinning. Like I really loved spinning, but to like actually get to where I'm like making yarn that I then knit with, like that I feel good enough about to like knit with. Oh my gosh. So yeah, clearly I'm very excited about it. Oh, and in pottery, like I said, I've been taking pottery classes, and I made a diz out of pottery. I made a couple of them actually, but I only brought one out. So yeah, here are the little holes that I haven't tried this yet. I just brought this home the other day. It's not perfect. It's, you know, it was like a little pinch pot kind of a thing. Poke some holes in there. I painted some like flowery things because why not? And then it's, I'll use a clear glaze. So it's like I painted an underglaze. It's called. I'm still very new at pottery. So if there's any potters watching, like I only know the very basics of it. And I left the part on the outside here. I didn't glaze. One, so that way when it was in the kiln, it wouldn't stick to the kiln. And also I thought that having this like rougher unglazed portion would make it easier to hold, so it wouldn't like slip out of my hand or something. So anyway, I'm excited to give this one a try. Pretty cool. While we're talking about pottery, I'll show you some of my pottery too. All right, now again, I am very new at pottery, so they're not perfect, but here's a little bowl. This was one of the bowls that I made in my intro to wheel class. Like I learned how to throw clay on a wheel, which is like, again, just like really cool, magical stuff. Like another crafty thing to play around with. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, but it's been a blast. It was like a 4-week class, and loved it so much that now I'm in the middle of a 7-week class where I've been going a couple times a week to like open studio times too, and I've been practicing a lot more, and I'm getting better. So they're not perfect yet. I just put a bunch of stuff in line to be glazed, or I just glazed it. So hopefully in another like week or so, I will have a whole batch of like, I have, gosh, like probably half a dozen bowls and some plates and like little trinket dishes and stuff. Like I'll have a bunch of stuff to show off. But for now, we're going to look at my, beginnings at pottery. So this is my little bowl, and this one was fun because like I dipped it in this like brown glaze and then dipped the top in this blue glaze, so it gave it like a 2-tone thing. I love this little bowl. I use it for like, I don't know, tea bags, like, used tea bags. I'll just pop it in here, or if I want to have like some peanuts or something. It's a cute little bowl. Last night I put basil leaves in it and put it on the table so we could put basil on our food, and it was so nice. Anyway, I also made this cup, which is wicked wonky. but it's so cute. So this, I also, this is one of my more recent works, and it's very wonky and I love it, even though it's like, we could say it's kind of an ugly cup, but it's cute in its own ugly little way, and I love the colors. This is like a speckly clay. Like this one is white and this one's speckly. Isn't it fun? Oh my gosh, I love it. So made this one. It's a little small because clay shrinks in the kiln, and I'm still learning like how much. But you know, this works. This works as a cup. I mean, when I'm drinking coffee, I usually have a giant cup of coffee, or like my giant 32-ounce cups of water, you know. So this is kind of little, but I was also thinking like it would make a great cup for watercolors. You know, like you need the water for your watercolors. This would be perfect for that. I did make this mug. This is hand built instead of being thrown on a wheel. And I did this in a class with my husband, actually. So I go to Dover Pottery Studio, and they do these things called pop-up pots. So if you are a local in New Hampshire, I highly recommend checking out Dover Pottery Studio and going to one of their pop-up pot classes, because they have them at like local restaurants. And my friend Meredith is the one that like introduced me to this, and we made a bowl. I should have grabbed it and I forgot it, but we made these like pottery bowls, and they were super fun to do, and that's why I got wicked obsessed with it. And so I took Jeff to another one. The first one was at a cider company, and so you got like a free cup of cider while you were making your bowl, and that was really fun. And this one was at Stoneface Brewery, so Jeff and I got to have like a beer, and we ate, I think, like chicken tenders and french fries, and it was awesome. While we were, you know, waiting to get started, and we were just like frantically eating our food so that we could get that done before we started the actual pottery part, because I didn't want to have like clay all over my hands while I was trying to eat. Although I did save some of my beer and drank. Like that just makes it like an extra fun experience, right? So we made these mugs, and I used this like knit stockinette roller to put this like pattern on here, and it feels so like cool. I love the way this feels, and it looks awesome. So I do use this mug for my coffee now, and I put some like 4-leaf clovers in there. There's some 3-leaf clovers too. You gotta find the 4-leaf clovers, right? And did some like fun little designs in there. And I was worried that I wasn't gonna like the feeling of this edge, but it's like I did smooth it out enough. And while it doesn't look super awesome, it actually does feel totally fine on my mouth, because I'm like really picky about how mugs feel. So anyway, that's my mug. I also did a bird feeder, which is like over there. Did that one with my daughter. That was we had a blast doing that. So highly recommend Dover Pottery Studio, and it's been really cool to like do this, take some pottery classes, because it's something I've always wanted to do and never did. I took a lot of art classes. I have a minor in art, and mainly focused on painting. I always wanted to do the pottery ones, but like they would always fill up really fast, and they also cost extra. And I was kind of a poor college student, like most of us, right? And was just like hesitant to add on another cost, which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, what was it going to be? Like, I think it was like an extra $300 or something. When you take out, gosh, how many? I think I had like $20,000 in loans when I got out of college. Would that $300 really have mattered? But in the end, maybe it was all for the best, because it just took me until I was in my 40s to finally get to play around with pottery, and I'm loving it. It's great. It's absolutely great. So, yeah, if you have dreams, there's still time, you know, like go for it. You can do it later on. That's fine. we'll talk about some more art. I've been also dabbling in watercolors. I'll show you a couple of them here. These are available in my shop. I've sold a few of my watercolors. There's some florals. I've got this one, look at with the kitties on them. I love this one. But I have sold a few watercolors now, and I'm super excited to be like a professional artist. So thank you to anyone who has bought a couple of my watercolors, because you have made another dream come true. I am a professional artist. I love art. That's why I have a minor in it. I have a degree in chemistry because that was the, like, you know, the smart thing to do was to get into STEM. And I really struggled in chemistry. I did really well with science in, you know, grade school and high school. And in college, it got really hard. And I took the art classes to kind of keep myself sane. And the truth is, I think my love was always for art, but I did the responsible thing and get the science degree. And, you know, I'm not gonna say that it was a bad choice, because I think any choice that we make, if we have good intentions, you know, it's gonna be helpful in some way, right? But I'm so happy to be coming back to that artistic side of me and just really leaning into it and finding out just how passionate I am about it and how much joy it's bringing me. Like, I think this is where I belong, you know. I'm glad for my science knowledge and my math knowledge. I love science. I love math. And did really enjoy a lot of what I did in chemistry. Particularly, I loved lab, loved chem lab. But I had a really hard time with the memorization. And so, like, the theory of it was kind of, that was really challenging for me. But I definitely learned a lot, and I'm thankful for the time I spent in chemistry. But I'm really so much happier just focusing on creating now. So getting to sell watercolors is just like a dream come true. Like, wait a minute, you mean I can have like an actual job, like dyeing yarn and making art with wool and yarn, and I can make art with watercolors and pottery, right? Clay and glaze, and it's just like, I can make a living doing this, and it feels really good. And I don't know, I have a lot of thoughts about that, I guess. I guess like I was saying earlier about if you have dreams, you know, there's always time to go for them. Don't feel like you're stuck in one thing. Like, oh, I've already put all of this time into this degree or this career. I have to keep going. I've got to make it work. That, you know, if you're gonna stop and pivot and do something else, that's okay too. I mean, I have a degree in chemistry. I got a sciencey job. I worked for like 3 years before I left because I was married and had a child and decided that I wanted to focus on raising my kids, and I became a stay-at-home mom and did that. I continue to do that. I have 8 kids. My oldest is leaving for college this fall, and my youngest is 2. So I kind of gave up that STEM science career to raise my kids, and no regrets, absolutely no regrets. It has been beautiful and I love it. And doing that also gave me the opportunity to like go back to my roots of art. And I have just opened up this whole new world, and I've, you know, built this little business, and with all of your help, it's making a big difference in my life and in my family's life, and it's beautiful. And I'm just so happy. Just so, I could go on for a long time about how happy I am doing this now. So thank you. Never give up on your dreams. Keep going, try new things. It's a blast. All right. I've gotten pretty philosophical here. We don't need to do this for too much longer. Cheers. I need some moisture in my mouth. Okay. Now that we've done all of the artsy spinning stuff, we can talk about knitting. Yay, let's talk about some knitting. Okay. So, I'll start with this one. This is a sock. Would you believe it? I'm still knitting socks. Oh my gosh. This is a sock project that I've been working on because I've been doing so many other things. Like, I am not like pumping out the socks like I had been for so long. I have one of them done. This is one of my monthly sock yarns. I believe I called this one Cock-a-doodle-doo. It reminded me of Hey Hey from Moana. So that's why I called it that. And I started this a few months ago. I've got one sock done. It's got like a basket weave kind of texture on it. And I did a Eye of Partridge heel. And I love it. I started the second one. I'm almost done the heel on it. I literally just have like a couple more short rows to do on that heel turn. But here we are with this one. So I'm nearly there. I forget what month this was. May, maybe? Anyway, Cock-a-doodle-doo. If you are a monthly Yarn Club subscriber, you have this yarn. These are, exclusive colorways. They don't come back. I don't think I have any extras left of this one. So, yeah, that's kind of the incentive to join one of my yarn clubs. These are exclusive colorways. I have this in a bag by Midwest Stitches. I know it's Christmassy. I don't care. I love this bag so much. I think I show it like it's probably made an appearance at like every one of my podcasts since I got it like 2 or 3 years ago. I love this bag. I use it all the time. I also have this sock project. Now I have a full sock done. I do not know where the first sock went, so hopefully it will show up someday. I bought this yarn in Virginia. I was there earlier this summer. My daughter, like I said, she's going to UNH this fall, and she just graduated from high school. We are a homeschooling family, and the homeschool program that we use actually has a big graduation at their headquarters in Virginia, and people from like all around the world, all around the world. There were people from Mexico, Canada, the United Arab Emirates. I know there were others, but those are the three that always like pop up in my head. I was just like amazed. Like, really, people came from the United Arab Emirates to Virginia to go to graduation. Like, it's just awesome. Mostly everybody was from America, but there were quite a few like international people. And of course, while I was in Virginia, I had to go check out the yarn shops. And can I remember the name of the shop that I went to? No, I cannot, but I will put it down below. And it was beautiful. And if you find yourself in Virginia in this area, you need to go check it out, because the woman that was there was super friendly and really nice. And she had a cute little shop. It was not very big at all, but it was chock full of yarn. And I was super excited to get some locally hand-dyed yarn from the area. That's like one of my favorite things to do when I travel, which is almost never. I don't travel very much, but when I do, I always have to see if I can find some yarn. And this one caught my eye. The colorway is called You Name It, which cracked me up, because personally, I find naming colorways to be one of the hardest things, if not the hardest thing. Well, the hardest thing is doing like paperwork and taxes and that kind of crap. Ugh. But the second hardest thing is naming colorways. And when I was talking with the yarn shop owner, she was saying that the woman who dyes this yarn, she also has a hard time with naming. And so to see that one called You Name It, it cracked me up. So I had to get that. Plus it's beautiful. Like, I love a speckle, and it's got big neon stripes. I just wish I can find the first yarn, because I almost knit the whole first sock on our ride home from Virginia. Like, that was just what I did until it literally just got too dark. We left at like noon, and we got home like, I don't know, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. It was such a long drive. But we also had a bit of a delay, because on the way home, when we were in Pennsylvania, if you don't know, my husband's really big into trains, and the big boy, like the big boy steam engine was coming through the whole, like, it started in like California, or at least West Coast somewhere, and was traveling all across the country. And wouldn't you know, like, with our luck, the day that we were coming home from Virginia and driving through Pennsylvania, the big boy was also coming through Pennsylvania. And in our epic luck, we just happened, well, I shouldn't say like it was totally just luck. My husband was fully aware of what was going on and planned it out so perfectly that we got to one of the crossings of the big boy 15 minutes before it showed up. And I'll pop a video in here of us watching the big boy go by, and it was beautiful. It was unfortunately not being, it wasn't moving under big boy power. I believe the diesels were the ones that were really moving it, but we still got to see it, and it blew its whistle, and it was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, anyway, it was the loudest sound. The video, thankfully, is not that loud, because it's like, I don't know, science of videos. But oh my gosh, it was like the most shocking thing. I was not expecting it at all. What's up, sweetie?
This is so crazy.
Oh no! What you gonna do?
She's like crazy.
Are you crazy?
Yes, I'm crazy.
Yes, you're crazy.
She's high for me.
All right, well, I'm gonna continue talking to you. If you hear my toddler, like, just, you know, she's just doing toddler stuff. Right, Sophie? Yeah. So yeah, big boy. It was awesome. It was like, it was great. And watching my husband just get so psyched about it. Like I love seeing people get excited about their things, even if it's not like I'm not big into trains. I think they're cool. Who doesn't think trains are cool? But I'm not like, mega into them. But I get really excited about them because I see him get, excited about it. And I love it. And like there were other people there. It was not that crowded. We were in just like some random town, like whatever. But you see other people just super excited about it. It was cool. I love seeing people excited about things in their lives. So that was Virginia. Okay, another project that I've been working on. I bought a circular sock knitter, like a crank machine thing, 3D printed, quite a while ago, like 2 years ago, and refused to really read the directions. Like I read the directions, watched a few videos, but like was not closely. I'm like, I'll figure it out. What's the big deal? It'll be fine. And of course, every time I would pull it out and try to crank a sock, I'd have issues with it because I wasn't following the directions. But every time I did it, I'd get a little bit better, but would only have so much energy to like fight with the thing. So this weekend, a few days ago, I said to myself, that's it? No, was it this weekend? It was like Friday, whatever. A few days ago, I said to myself, today is the day you are going to get a video and you are going to pay attention to every little thing and you are going to do it correctly. And when a mistake happens, you're not going to just like keep trying to crank it and think it's going to get better, because it's not going to get better. You need to actually do this right. And wouldn't you know, I figured it out. And I was cranking and it was a piece of cake. So here is the tube that I knit. Look at that. I knit a tube with a machine. Yay! So this yarn is from Breaking Yarn. I knit socks with this. It was like a one-of-a-kind colorway. And this was the stuff I had left over. I don't remember. I want to say this is probably 50 grams. And yeah, I haven't double checked it maybe I can do it right now. So do we all have like, hey Sophie, do we all have like a thing on us that is our like gauge? So like this little knuckle on my pinky is an inch. So this is what I use. I've also thought about getting one of those like tattoos where you could like, I saw one recently where it was like a vine of strawberries and the bottom of every strawberry was an inch. Say hi, Sophie. And anyway, so you could have like a ruler on your arm. Haven't done that one yet. Anyway, this is, Sophie's running around and it's making the camera wiggle. This is an inch on me. So this is what I use to like measure my gauge. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this looks like it's right on target for 8 stitches an inch. So I'm gonna play around with this and like, knit a nice big sock because I would totally get bored hand knitting a sock that was like this long. And now I can just crank a tube and put in the heels, toes, and cuffs, and perfect. And this also means that I can like take yarn that I dye and crank a tube and actually have a sample of the yarn knit. Yay! So that's really exciting. I'm not quite there yet because I literally just figured out how to do this, but that was one of the reasons why I bought this circular sock machine like 2 years ago. Finally, we're getting somewhere. Let's see. I'll show you my other work in progress. This is Andrea Maurer. Oh, I just dropped my yarn. I'll get it later. La. You are so loud, Sophie. This is Andrea Maury's new pattern, Antipodes. And I saw that on her Instagram like last week and was like, I need that. So as soon as it came out, I bought it, and I actually spun yarn. So my contrast color here, this dark brown and purple stuff, this is hand spun, which is really fun. And oh, my dog is here. Oh, perfect. Don't worry, we're almost done. We're like an hour into this video and we are almost done. So I can take care of the Sophie and I can take care of the Willow. So in one day, I spun an entire 100 grams of wool. This is actually the Malabrigo Nube. Oh no, the dog is all tangled up in the yarn. Yeah, that Malabrigo Nube that I was saying that's a little bit tricky to spin. But it sure came out pretty. It's okay. It's like I said, it's not, if you have Malabrigo Nube, I'm not saying don't use it. It's just a little bit trickier. You are so cute. Yes, you are. So we got a buddy here with us today. So that's what I'm using for my contrast color. And I am working on this is a sweater, huh? No, this has a really fun construction where you make like this saddle for the back. Like, so this is the back of it. And I've got a little bit of the color work section started over here. And so I will do, this is this is the neck hole, and I'll be doing the front. That's what I'm working on right now. So I'll do the front and same thing, a few rows of the color work and then join that together and then finish the body and then do the sleeves. So if that makes no sense to you, it's okay. That's fine. I mean, I guess you can kind of see like what's going on here. This is the front. Yeah, something like that. Hello, Sophie. What do you think? And so my main color is just an undyed fingering weight 100% wool base that I have. Like I said, I might start offering that in the shop because I think it would be cool to have some like plain wool in the shop too. But I probably there's a part of me that wishes I had dyed the main color. But I was just really excited to cast this on, and I had already put the effort into spinning the contrast color. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with the undyed yarn. Oh, look at the yarn came back. So there it is. I got a bunch of these. And then I don't have to worry about it, like waiting for that to dry and everything. So I was able to get that going. So I know this is wild. Look at all like the barber cords that I have on here. It is like a crazy project, but it has been really fun. There's like a lot of really interesting techniques in this. I think I'm past like the really challenging stuff, and it's not like it's that bad, but the really wild things are I've gone through. Like I've done all the short rows and things for shaping. Oh, is the dog Willow? Hey, Willow, come. Keep an eye on that dog. I gotta finish this up so I get that dog back in. Hey, hey, Willow. Willow, come. She's like slowly. Willow, come. There's a good girl. Good girl. That's a good dog. Hey, do you want to be in the video? You want to say hi to the people? Yeah, come over here, say hi. This is Willow. This is Willow. She's a good dog. Yes, she's a good dog. Yeah, she's a Labradoodle. And she's a goofball. Yes, yes. And she got all of her fur shaved off this summer, huh? You good dog. Okay. Where's my Sophie? There's Sophie over there.
Yes, mommy.
Yes, your mommy. So, last little thing we can talk about. I'll show you a couple of yarns in the shop because things are getting wild over here. I have a bunch of yarn in the shop. I brought a couple of colorways here. This is Earthrise. Hi Willow. I was inspired by the Artemis mission and that photo of the Earth rising over the moon, and so that's why we've got the moon here with this beautiful gray colorway. There's some black speckles in there to remind us of the craters. And then we have this like earth color for the contrast. So this is Earthrise. I've got it in fingering and DK. So take a look at that one. And then also on the sciencey side of things, like I said, I do really love science. I knit. I dyed this yarn. Doesn't have a label on it right now, but this one I'm calling Friends Forever, and it is inspired by the movie, book too, but the movie Project Hail Mary, which I read and watched this spring, summer, whatever, and loved it. Like so obsessed. We could talk for a while about that, but I'm not going to get too far into that, except saying that you need, like this is absolutely a need. You need to watch or read Project Hail Mary. I read the book, watched the movie, and then listened to the audiobook. My favorite, you see the trees? My favorite is the audiobook, so I would recommend that one. If you don't have the time to listen to the audiobook, which is very understandable, the movie is excellent too. But this is inspired, and if I'm not gonna say much about it. If you've watched the movie, you'll understand the reference. But this is another one that I kind of think I'm going to steal for myself too. I do have a bunch, so it's okay if I steal one. There's still plenty in the shop, so you can grab one too. This one would work for a planned pooling project, I think. No, I mean, I planned pooling. Like I understand how to dye those. I have not done a planned pooling project, but I have had some people ask about getting some planned pooling yarn from me. So here's an option for you if you are into a project like that, or it would make a really cool pair of socks with like this like nice flashes of this really fun teal color on the brown background. Yeah, I like this one a lot. So got that. Yeah, and I think I've talked about everything, which is cool. Yay, go me. It's only been an hour and 10 minutes. I said to myself, this is going to be a quick video. I know I've got a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to get like super chatty. And here I am, an hour and 10 minutes in. Oh well. I hope you like long videos. I know. Are you tired, Sophie? So, she's so cute. Oh yeah, my dog's gone again. All right, I'm gonna close this today so I can collect all of my beings and put my stuff away. So I'm gonna thank you so much for watching and sticking with me for this entire hour. You're awesome for doing that. If you skip through, you're still awesome. That's fine too. And if you're not even seeing this part because you gave up a while ago, you're still awesome. I still think you're great, really. And I honestly mean that. You're all awesome. I know we're all busy. We all have lives. We can't all sit here and listen to me yap about the most random projects. I get it. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Check out my yarn and my fiber if you're interested. Subscribe if you would like to see sporadic videos like this. Hopefully I'll do more. I think I say that every time. So I don't want to like completely promise, but I really would like to do this more often. There's a lot of exciting things on the horizon for Granite State Yarn. So if you are at all interested in following to see where I'm going and what I'm doing, you should totally do that. So I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week, an amazing month, however long it is before I am back, and get into some new projects, like realize some dreams that you've had for a long time. Happy knitting. Don't lose your dog out in the yard somewhere. And oh, she's right here. See, just like me, don't lose your dog. And I will catch you in the next video or on Instagram or wherever. I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you so much and goodbye.